Hello, everyone. My name is Mickey DiCamillo, and I'm your Atlantic Cape librarian. In today's session, we're going to talk about how we cite a peer-reviewed article in APA format. Just as a reminder, if you have any trouble with anything that we talk about in this session, feel free to contact us at library@atlantic.edu. And also keep in mind that if you're using the library databases off campus, you're going to be asked to enter a username and password. Your username is study, STUDY, all lowercase. The password is S1112Y. The letters in the password are lowercase. So quickly, let's talk about why citations are important in an academic assignment. First, citations show some academic integrity. If you're showing citations, we know that you did actually do some research and you didn't give it up to the AI robot to do it all for you. Right? If you actually have some citations, it means that you found something to include in your presentation or paper, uh, whatever assignment might be. Citations also show transparency. So you have some research. Now we want to know if that research is any good. So the citations will show us where the information came from and if they're coming from reputable sources. Lastly, citations help sort out in your paper or in your presentation where your ideas begin and end and where the information that you found in your research begins and ends. So it separates the information you're building upon from your original ideas. And so that is why we use citations. You're going to be using APA format for the presentation that you're creating in this class. So when you're creating an APA citation, you're gathering up the bibliographic information from the article that you are using. So that means you want to know who the authors are, the date of publication, the title of the article, the journal that the article came from. And quickly, I want to point out the difference here. A lot of times students get confused and think that the source is the name of the database. So if you found an article, say in Soc Index, the database that you may use in a sociology class, that is not the journal name. So the database contains all of these thousands of journals, and you want to know what journal published the article you found. And I'll show you where you get that information in a moment when we go into the database. Just keep in mind that the journal or the source is not the name of the database. It's the name of the actual journal that published the article. Journals have volume and issue numbers, so you want to look for those. And in most cases, you're able to find the page numbers as well. Sometimes a volume issue or page number may be missing or not included in the bibliographic information, but you want to see if it's there. Usually it is. The last thing you're picking up here is a DOI. That's a short URL that will take somebody who clicks on that URL to a record page, sort of proving that this article does exist and you didn't just make this stuff up. Once you have all of this information, then you can go ahead and create your citation. It goes right in the order of this chart. So it's author, date, title, journal, volume, issue, pages, and DOI. It ends up looking like this. Now, with APA style, something to point out is that the title of your article is going to be all lowercase. It follows what's called sentence case. That means the first word has a capital letter, but the rest of the words are lowercase. And that kind of runs counter to everything we've known about writing titles. We probably learned back in first grade that you capitalize all the big words in the title. Not an APA style for the journal article title. You'll notice that the name of the journal, in this case, British Journal of Learning Disabilities, that does have that traditional capitalize all the big words in the title. It's only the title of the article that follows the sentence case and gets the lowercase letters. Probably seeing too that there's a lot of commas and periods flying around here. Where do they all go? Online, you can find the APA guide to creating citations, and it lets you know where to place the period, where to place the comma. But citation generators in the library's database have progressed to a point where they can really place all of those things for you. So I want to show you how you can generate citations right in the library databases. I'm going to jump over to the library database. I'm in Social Index, and I found an article here that I like called Popularity in Gender Prototypicality and Experimental Approach. So I've clicked on this article and I've read this article, and now it's time to cite this article. So on this initial page, this is where I get all of that bibliographic information. I see the title, the authors, there's the source, right? It's not Social Index, it's the Journal of Youth and Adolescence. That's the journal that published this article. They published it in 2021, so there's my date. It appeared in volume 50, issue 1 on pages 144 to 158. So that's all the additional information that I need. When I scroll down a little bit more, I'll find that DOI. There it is. And that's all the information for the APA citation. I can start putting that together manually, or I can come back up here to the quotation marks. That button is the cite button. And when I click on that, it opens up a box for me to choose my citation style. I'm going to choose APA, and then it generates the citation for me. Now, as I said, these citation generators have gotten very good, and so you can often rely on their accuracy. And this one does look very good. The one area where I do find that they have some hiccups is with that capitalization issue uh, on the journal article. That's why I pointed that out to you. So you'll notice here that they're using the typical capitalization of a title with every big word capitalized. But that isn't how the APA style goes, so we'll have to fix that. I'm going to copy this to a clipboard and I'm going to go over to a Word document where I am adding in all of my references. And you'll see here that I have that article now into my reference list. And I went ahead and fixed the capitalization issue in the journal article title. On your reference sheet, one thing that you do have to keep in mind is that all of your references need to be in alphabetical order according to the last name of the first author listed. So you see that this one has many authors, but field is listed first, so that is going to be an F, and that's going to come before K down here in Kleiser. So I have these in alphabetical order. You also should notice here that there's this hanging indent. So the first line sticks to the margin, but the subsequent lines are pushed in a bit. And so that all lines up going down where you have the flush to the margin for the first line in every citation, and then subsequent lines in the citation are pushed in. So I have my reference sheet ready to go. There's the DOIs right there at the end. They're hyperlinked, so if anybody clicks on these, they're going to go right to a page on the web that is a record for the article. And it proves that you didn't just make up these names and these titles, but that this article is a real thing, and that DOI record ends up proving that. Again, if you have any trouble with your APA citations, feel free to reach out to us at the library at library@atlantic.edu. Good luck with your assignment.